that the love I have for you doesn't fade along with you. The reason that I ask, I've seen far too many friends walk away and not come back. I won't wash away like branches in rain. I'd rather be kindling in the light. Set me on fire like I've never known. I wanna love you more as life goes on. So all of my days, I place my first again. My first again.
I don't wanna be on my phone, but I can't be alone. Walking to the modern way, trying to be somebody I'm not, but it's not what I want. Tell me there's another way. All of the lights are traced and now faded. All the cheap thrills were only time wasted. Tell me why society's playing shit to find who I am. Surely there's a higher way. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I don't want a stereotype to decide who I am. They never knew me anyway. I'm over trying to find the next hype, cause I never last. I'ma go another way. All of the lights are chased and now faded. Till it was right, the times they are changing. Tell me why society's plans should define who I am. Surely there's a higher way. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. All of my best friends are sick of pretending. We want the truth. So much is missing, so give us the real thing. I know it's you. I know all of my best friends. Come on. We want the truth. So much is missing, and I know it's you, and I know it's you. Waking up knowing there's a reason. All my dreams come alive. Life is for living with you. I made my decision. You lift me up, fill my eyes with wonder. Forever young in your love, this freedom's untainted. With you, no moment is wasted. This is living now. This is living now. You take me higher than I've been before. It's your perfect love that sees me soar. God, your freedom is an open door. You are everything I want and more. You lead the way, God, you're right beside me. In your love, I'm complete. There's nothing like living with you. This life you created, I choose is living now. This is living now. You take me higher than I've been before. It's your perfect love that sees me soar. God, your freedom is an open door. You are everything I want and more. Take me higher than before. God, your see the sun now bursting through the clouds, black and white, turn to color all around. All is new in the Savior I am found. See the sun now bursting through the clouds, black and white, turn to color all around. All is new in the Savior I am found. This is living now. This is
Hey, what is up, guys? We are super excited for the first live session of the Lifecentral Youth Lock-In. But before we get started, we've got a couple of rules for you guys. The first one of those, if you are 13 or under, we ask that you watch with a parent or guardian. That's not our rules, that's YouTube rules, so you can stick to that. The second one is we will never ask for your personal details, your email, your bank details, your phone number. We might ask for your name, but that is the only thing we might ask for in the chat. So if anyone asks, don't put what your details are. The last rule is we want this to be a place of life and encouragement. So when you're commenting in the chat throughout the night, we might ask you to comment stuff in the chat, but keep it encouraging, keep it good stuff. We don't want to bring anybody down in the chat. Let's keep it encouraging. Guys, we are ready for the Lock-In 2021. Let's go. What is up, Lifecentral Youth? Welcome to the Lock-In 2021. Yes. Oh, I'm super excited.
And not just the Lock-In 2021, the first ever Youth Lock-In.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And these guys watching may not have seen our faces before, or maybe they have, and they're just rubbish with names and have forgotten. So if that is you and you want to know what our names are, my name is Beth, and this is...
I'm Harvey. Good to meet you if I've never met you before.
Yes.
Cool. We are going to get started. I'm so excited for this next couple of days. We got so much lined up. It is going to be
so good. Now, you might be thinking, what is the Youth Lock-In? I've signed up for here. I'm watching. What is it? Well, normally in February, we would take a bunch of young people, you guys, away for a weekend where we'd have loads of fun and talks and worship and do different activities. And just because it's stinky lockdown, we thought we don't want our guys to miss out on the fun. We still want to do something. We still want to let you guys encounter and learn about God. So we have got talks and worship and quizzes and giveaways and all sorts going on in the next 2 days. You do not want to miss it.
It's going to be so good, so good. We have taken the theme of retaliate. Now, retaliate, the word, it means to fight back. See, we believe that this generation is a generation who will fight back, but they won't fight the same way that the world fights. They'll fight differently. See, Martin Luther King, he says this: darkness cannot drive out darkness, Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. In the Bible, it says this, John 8 verse 12, when Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. Guys, we believe that this is a generation who will live in the light, who will, when darkness surrounds them, when evil surrounds them, they will fight back, but they will fight back differently with light and love. So this is not just a cool name, but this stands for something. So we're super excited for all that is going to come out of this.
Yes, we are. And this is going to be unpacked through the next couple of days. And you might have noticed that very fittingly, Harvey has got the theme written on this lovely jumper that he's wearing. It says Retaliate. And if he spins around, you can see this lovely graphic, which has been on our Instagram feeds for the past week, 2 weeks, quite a while. And this, okay, it's not a Harvey exclusive. Oh, no.
Not?
We have some merchandise, also known as merchandise, that you guys can get your hands on. We have got t-shirts, jumpers, and hoodies. We have been good to you guys. So if you guys want to get your hands on some merchandise, there should be a link that's going to pop in the chat. Hit up that link and get yourselves some merch.
Come on. So if you want to look like Harvey, then you can get
Twin with Harvey.
Twin with Harvey. Hashtag Twin with Harvey.
That'd be good. We want to see your pictures of you looking like Harvey and Retaliate merch.
I really do not want to see that.
I would love that.
That is terrifying. That is terrifying. But you know what? Because we thought we'd be super kind to you guys tonight, we decided that the first ever the first jumper that goes tonight will not be one that is sold, but one that we're going to give away. So tonight we're going to do a giveaway of one of these sweaters, right?
Yeah.
You can get one, okay? And all you need to do is comment in the chat. But here's what you need to comment. So the theme retaliate means to fight back. And so in Hannah's talk in a little bit, she references a fighting movie. Okay, so all you need to do to enter is to be the first one to guess what movie Hannah puts in her talk. So put that in the chat now, what you think it is. What is the movie that Hannah is going to reference in a little bit? We got some guys in the chat who is going to see who the first person to comment is with the right answer. And then later we'll do the giveaway in a bit, right?
So it is a film that is going in Hannah's talk, and it's around this whole retaliate, fighting back kind of theme.
Yes.
Great. So that is what you guys have got to go on. Type it in the chat. So you could get yourself a jumper, Twin with Harvey.
Twin with hashtag.
Yes. Now, we're talking about all this fighting back, Harvey.
All this fighting.
Have you, not that you've had any history in necessarily fighting per se, but have you ever ventured into, say, the world of martial arts?
The world of martial arts. See, I'm quite experienced in the world of martial arts.
Are you? What kind of martial arts?
I did quite a lot of watching Cobra Kai over the last few weeks. So I mean, I've learned a lot from that.
Netflix, yeah?
Netflix. Come on. So I know a lot of the moves. I don't want to show off right now. So,
well, I think the guys at home would love to see you show off. Would you like to show us a move? Oh, there we go. That is a Cobra Kai inspired kick. Whether that was good or not, we'll let you guys judge. But we have got a bit of a martial arts treat for you guys, because we have got a very special video, which is involving none other than our leader, Joel. So without further ado, please experience the wonders of Joel-jitsu.
Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Joel-jitsu. This weekend is about how to retaliate. So Harvey has asked me to give you 3 key tips of how to fight back when you're facing an opponent. You have to trust that I know my stuff. I have struck fear into even the bravest man. You can punch him, you can kick him, you can spark him out. But the first step in a fight is how to intimidate. Now, let's name 3 scary things straight away. Bears, lions, spiders, nature. Boom, it's scary. And so if you want to throw off your opponent, then you need to know how to embody nature. Watch this. Some parental guidance before we continue. You may need to change your trousers after you see this. So you're my opponent. You're standing there giving me all this smack talk. I turn around and I embody the bear. Terrified. Maybe that didn't do it for you. Try number 2. You're saying, "Oh, Joel-jitsu. Oh, Joel-jitsu. You've got really small arms." Terrified. Most of my opponents run away, but if that doesn't work, you chase them down. My scariest weapon. I don't mess around. 3 animals to become if anyone ever tries to fight you. Number 1, the bear. Number 2, the chicken. And number 3, the crocodile. I'll see you maggots tomorrow for episode 2 of Joel-jitsu.
I mean, that was the weirdest few minutes of my life.
I mean, there was silence and visuals, then there was sound and black. It was like people had to fill in the blanks.
Guys,
it was like,
we
Sorry guys, but you saw that
apologise.
video in the end. And what were the moves he was doing?
Mate, so many
well, I definitely
moves.
saw one of these.
Yeah, I'm choosing this one.
I don't... what was the other? Bear.
The bear.
It was like the crocodile.
Anyway, it was weird, right? It was strange.
Yeah.
Let's
So
just go with that.
We asked Joel to do something. We didn't ask him to do that, but that's what we got. So we'll go with it.
But
We'll go with
okay,
it.
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
If people wanted to watch that video again at their leisure,
Like with
Because
sound.
of course they'll want
with
to.
sound and visuals, like, is it going to go out on the YouTube? Is
Yes.
it? Where can they watch this?
Yep, so that's going to go up on YouTube
Great.
and on Instagram in a little
Because
bit.
I just feel like that video in all its glory is worth watching.
It's one where it needs a few viewings, doesn't
Yeah,
it? You
it
need to
definitely
sit down
does.
and watch it again just to take it all in.
Definitely
Yeah.
needs something. I don't know.
Needs
Guys,
something.
you might have realised that Hannah just appeared here.
Hello.
Hannah Woodhouse.
Hello.
She
Hi,
just
Hannah.
does
I'm
that.
Hannah. It's really good to be with you guys. I'm going to be speaking in a little while, and we thought we'd grab me up on stage for a game we're going to play.
Oh yes, we are playing a game.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this game because neither
quite
of you two
nervous.
know what's going on.
well,
right?
not
It's gonna
really,
be so
no.
good.
I'm very
What-
nervous, and I think it's something to do with food, and that makes me very, very, very nervous.
Yes.
I would just like to point out, right, every time you guys ask me to host, there is some kind of nasty food involved.
Yeah, you might have been here last
Hot
time when we
sauce,
did Cruise
horrible
Live,
toppings.
and me and Beth had to eat some hot. I had to eat extra toast. Can I just say, I had to eat extra horrible
You
things.
deserved all that extra toast.
Right, before I have to listen to any more whinging, right, we're just gonna get to the game, okay? So this game is called Guess the Food, okay? So I've got a bunch of different outlines of food,
Okay.
They are food, some are food, some are drinks, some are like in between condiment things,
Ooh.
right?
In between? What's in between a food and a
Like
drink?
a
Like a
condiment,
yogurt.
Like a,
Oh, I went soup.
Oh,
like
a kind of like ketchup.
like
Salt.
yeah, like
Ketchup,
ketchup.
okay, all
So we've got a bunch of different things on here. So I've got the outlines right here, and from the outlines, you're going to take it in turns to guess what you think the food is. Right? Pretty straightforward.
Okay,
It's all
yeah.
good. It's all good.
Okay.
You've got it.
I
You
feel
got
like
it.
this. Like what's this? What's this?
Oh, that's just there for show. I thought it would look nice.
I mean,
It's
I'm not
nothing-
going to lie. It looks like you've hidden someone under there to jump out as halfway
Is
through.
it Joel? Is it Joel-jitsu?
Joel-jitsu!
Yeah.
Ah!
Okay, guys, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So we'll go with Beth
I'm really scared
first.
now
Okay.
that it's Joel.
Beth first. So this is the first item. I don't know if you can see
I
that
see.
on
Hopefully,
camera.
hopefully you guys
Hopefully
can
you
see this. I'm going to guess that it's a can of fizzy. Now, the specifics, I'm not sure because all cans
We
look
need
the
specifics,
same.
Beth.
Okay.
We
I'm
need
going to go for a
specifics.
can of Coca-Cola.
Oh, strong. Okay.
How do we find
I
out
will
if we're...
reveal the answer is, in fact,
Oh,
Pepsi
it's
Max.
so
That's
Pepsi
wrong.
Max.
That's
Pepsi
wrong.
Max.
That's wrong.
Okay.
But
okay.
no, it's 50% correct. Because Pepsi is basically the bad version of Coke.
No. Coke is the bad
close.
version of Pepsi. Emma
Wow.
behind the camera agrees with me.
Okay, well, we'll go on to Hannah. Hannah, this is the second item. What do you think this could be for people online?
It's definitely...
A snowman.
Put in the chat what you think it is.
What the flip is that? It's definitely a condiment.
Definitely a condiment.
Or is it?
That word's so cool. Come on.
Oh my goodness,
you
I
can
do not
this.
know.
You
What if
can-
it's a chicken nugget?
People online are just going to be kicking off. Like, that's so obvious.
Really?
Like,
If
Is
you
it
guys
really
think you know,
obvious?
put it in the chat.
I gotta be real. I don't think it's obvious, but you just.
Is it mustard?
Is it mustard?
Ooh.
Final answer.
Yes.
This is all I want.
It is salt. It is salt, people. We
I
have
feel
got
okay
some
because
salt.
This is so
neither of
unfair.
us
Right,
is
we're-
winning.
We're both wrong. We're both wrong.
That's okay. At least I'm not losing yet.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go on to
Oh,
Ben.
that's
Ben,
easy.
Right,
what are you thinking? No,
This
think
isn't
about
easy
it.
because it could be broccoli or cauliflower.
Oh.
There is two things here. I'm
cauliflower.
gonna say broccoli, or as my mum would call it, broccoli. Who says that?
Broccoli.
My
Broccoli.
mum.
We're going with broccoli.
Please
I'm
let
going
it be
with
cauliflower.
broccoli.
Please
Are
let
you
it be
ready?
cauliflower.
Are you
Please
ready?
let it be
please don't.
People
cauliflower.
online who got broccoli
Yes,
right.
1
Okay,
point
that's
for
a
me.
1-0. That's
One
a
point.
1-0.
Okay.
Hannah, you,
No
need
pressure.
you need to get this, mate. You need to get this. Hannah's not happy with this one. Guys online, what are you thinking? What are we thinking for this
I think I
item?
might know. I think I
I
know.
can't see the whole item.
The whole, I can't show you
Oh
the
my
item. Like,
goodness,
this is
what
the
is
outline,
this?
right? You
Do I know?
think about the shape.
I don't know.
You can do this.
We believe in you, Hannah.
I
believe
don't know.
in
What
you.
is it? I don't. Hang on.
People on the
Comments.
chat, put
Comments.
what you
No,
think
no,
it
no.
is.
I'm
What you
gonna,
think it is.
I'm gonna come down and have a look at these comments.
Can you? Is it food?
It is.
Well, it won't be a
Got
drink,
some
would
good
it? Come on.
suggestions in the chat. I'm
I
not gonna tell you what they are.
really do not know. I haven't got a clue.
It's
I
not a
don't-
pineapple.
Okay, interesting.
Mango?
Mango. Have you ever seen a mango that looks... oh my gosh, guys, come on.
mango do
Right,
you
no. It is a sandwich. It is.
Hannah, unfortunately,
A
if people in the
sandwich.
chat did get sandwich,
People
if you
in the
referred
chat
to
got
the comment,
sandwich. People.
you'd have been sorted. So well done if you said sandwich. You're correct. Hannah is not, and I am winning. Yes, sweet victory. Well, so
I'm
far.
having a bit of a crisis. I'm dropping them. Here we go.
I'll help you with them.
Right.
Wow.
Here we go. The next item.
Right, it is definitely
I
a
know what
condiment,
that is.
but it could be mayonnaise, or it could be barbecue, or it could be ketchup, because they all look quite similar. I'm gonna go mayonnaise though.
Gonna go mayonnaise.
Yeah. I'm just gonna commit. No!
Yes!
No!
I knew it was ketchup!
I was like, it's barbecue,
There
mayo,
we
or
go,
ketchup,
there
'cause
we
they're all
go.
in my fridge.
Oh,
I just enjoy
Hannah.
Hannah's reactions.
mine just aren't a thing. It's just not a thing. It's a top hat. What is
It's
it?
a top hat.
It's a
Come
plate
on, you
of
can
something.
do better
What
than
if you
that.
think? What if you think you've got it for the other person?
You can help the other person, but it will be their
Oh,
point.
but
I think,
that's-
you know.
Can I not steal it if she gets it wrong?
I'm
Yeah,
very
let's go
upset
with that.
because I thought I was going to be good at this. Is it a cheese?
Is it a cheese?
Wait. I would just like to put in, if that's not correct, I think it's a cup of coffee.
I have no idea how you got that. Not a clue.
That doesn't
This
count
is a new
though.
talent, everyone. I'm so happy.
Beth's really good at these kind of games.
Can you tell it's lockdown?
I know what this is.
Oh, honey.
What are
Yeah,
we thinking?
easy.
Honey.
Honey.
Okay,
Easy.
okay.
Yeah,
it's
so
honey.
that's
That was
easy.
so
That's the
quick.
literal brand I
That
have
was
in my
so quick.
kitchen.
This is the last item. Hannah, you
packet
can
of
do
crisps.
This. A packet of crisps. It is a packet of crisps. So the final score, if I'm not mistaken, is a draw.
No.
Is it a draw?
No,
I
it is
feel like
not.
it was a draw.
No, this is a fix.
It was a
I mean-
draw. It was
No.
a
Was it
draw.
a draw?
No,
Was it a draw? People
no.
online, put whether it was a draw. I kind of feel
I
like...
got 2 and 1 of
Oh.
Hannah's, and she
It
got
was
1.
a draw.
It's not a draw.
Yeah, but I knew all of yours.
Okay, guys at home, if me and Hannah have drawn, that means Harvey has also
Yes.
drawn.
Okay,
We all have to
okay.
do whatever
I
this
see, I
forfeit
see.
is. I think we should all do it.
Deal.
Okay.
We'll all do it. We'll all
Great.
do it. We'll all do it.
What is
okay.
it?
Yeah, do we
so,
find
Is
out
it Joel?
now?
Is it Joel? It's not Joel, but we'll
Joel-jitsu.
reveal what it is. Hannah, if you want to grab one end and Beth the other end,
Okay.
just lift
Okay,
off this.
back.
this
Can we
Forward
do
or
black-
back? Oh, okay.
this black sheet.
Da-da-da.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, it's the food that was
It's time
there.
for a feast, guys. I can't wait for this feast. So, everything that you got wrong is going in this blender.
Can I just say,
I'm
I rate
sorry.
you that
I'm
this is
sorry.
Heinz.
Heinz, you know, none of the
So
fake
when you
This
stuff.
would
say
be a
no,
no-go for me if this
when
was
you
own
say
brand.
everything we got wrong, do we both have to drink the collective wrongs, or do I just get Pepsi Max?
I think let's say in the
No,
chat.
no, they're all
we're
going
all
in.
eating all of
But I
it.
only got the
They're all
Pepsi Max
going
wrong for
in.
me.
Okay,
Also-
which ones did we all get right?
Do you know what? It's all going
Let's
in.
put
It's
it
all
all
going
in.
in. It's all
No.
going in. Beth, do you want to do the
Beth,
honors?
check-
I'll step back so you can.
We're doing
we
it
doing it
now.
now?
Yeah. Put it in the blender. Let's go,
Yeah, you go,
guys.
you go,
Okay,
you
hold
go.
on.
Guys
2 meters.
on the chat. Let's put in the comments
Are we doing this now or are we doing it at the end?
how great you think this is going to taste. We'll leave the drinking of it till the end, and depending on how long this takes we might leave the blend until the end too.
We don't know how to get the lid off.
Okay, we're
I
gonna
don't
leave
know how
that
to
till
do
the
this.
end. At the end, we will blend some stuff, and
We'll get
I
it all
think
ready
just,
and then we'll do the blending at the end.
and just you guys are gonna.
No, all
No.
of us.
Yeah,
all
just,
of us.
Just those guys.
All
are
of
gonna,
us.
Yeah, it's gonna
All
be
of
fun.
us.
Cool.
Equality.
Super excited. We're excited to hear you speaking a little bit, Hannah.
Yes, and we're going to try and segue into some deep stuff now, aren't we? And it's going
We
to be
are
great.
indeed. But you know, it's okay. You're going to see Hannah's face again very shortly. She's going to do a talk and we're going to clear all of this lovely foray of food away. But before
Foray?
Hannah, that's not even the correct use of that.
I
That's
enjoyed
not
it all the
incorrect.
same.
Thank you. Sometimes if you say a word with confidence, it works. So yeah, in a few moments you are going to hear Hannah give a talk, and it is on the topic of...
Taking a hit.
Yes, it is. But before we go into the talk, we are going to have some sung worship from Dan and the band. It's going to come straight on your screens. And we'd love you to engage with this however you feel is most comfortable for you. You might want to reflect on the words. You might want to get up and sing. You might want to draw along to the music. It is up to you. So without further ado, it is Never Have I Ever.
I was running wild, up in a chase. I've been up and down and all over the place, wasting all my days and nights, never feeling satisfied. Putting on a smile, I was keeping it fake, but there's no imitating what I found in your grace. All the things I left behind are shadows, now I see the light. In my head, my soul, my heart, my all, I know that I know. Never have I ever found a love so good, so good. Never have I ever getting over living with you. Nothing can change it. All I can say is never have I ever found a love so good, so good. I've got a million reasons why I can't be the same. You've got me looking forward and I'm turning my gaze. Forever, God, it's you and I, together till the end of time. My head, my soul, my heart, my all, I know that I know. Never have I ever found a love so good, so good. Never have I ever getting over living with you. Nothing can change it. All I can say is never have I ever found a love so good, so good. Your love is patient, love is kind. Your love is never hard to find. Forever I am yours and you're mine. Alright. Never have I ever found love so good, so good. Never have I ever getting over living with you. Nothing can change it. All I can say is never have I ever found love so good, so good.
Hey there everyone, my name is Hannah and I am so excited to be kicking off the lock-in now, to be talking together, to be kicking off this 24 hours together online. And for those of you who know, this February half term is usually a really significant time for us as Lifecentral Youth. We usually all head away together and go on something called the Lifecentral Youth Weekender. And we usually all go away to the Pioneer Centre and we have so much fun while we're there together. So I'm a little bit sad that we can't be together for the Lifecentral Youth Weekender. But I'm also not really sad, and I'll tell you why I'm not really sad. I'm not really sad because I'm actually so excited about the lock-in, about this time together, about us being broadcast into your living room, into your bedroom, wherever you're watching this from. And I'm so excited about what we're going to be speaking about, what we're going to be unpacking together over this time, what we're going to hear in these live sessions and in the seminars and the workshops. I'm so excited. I've said that a lot. As you can tell, I'm very excited about it. And we have a theme for the lock-in, and you'll have seen it around, you'll have seen it on the merch, on the programs, on when we speak about it, and the theme is this word, retaliate. And I don't know what you guys think of when you hear the word retaliate. Maybe you've never really heard of it before, or maybe you've heard the word a lot and you're like, Hannah, I know what that means straight away. But to kind of explain it to you a little bit, I'm going to replace it with two other words to describe what I mean by retaliate. And those two other words are fight back. And retaliate kind of means to come up against something, to have something maybe happen to you, to come up against hardship or suffering, and then to fight back, to choose to fight back. And this might seem a little bit unusual and surprising to you that this is what we're speaking about at a church event, at a youth group event, because you spend your whole time through school learning and being told not to fight back, not to retaliate when something happens to you, to be the bigger person, to not react. And actually we're talking about reacting, we're talking about fighting back. But actually, when me and Harvey were planning out what we wanted to say for this time together, this theme just seemed so what we feel on our hearts is what's right to speak about at the moment. And me and Harvey actually through this have been thinking, what would we want to hear right now? And actually through this difficult time, we think this is a really key thing to be speaking about. And I used that word fight. And when you hear the word fight, you might be someone who's been in a fight before, maybe even a physical one. And it might surprise you to hear that I have never been in a physical, full-on like fist fight. Never in my life. I mean, you're probably actually not surprised at all. But there is something that did happen to me when I was younger, and I told this story last week to my hangout. So my hangout is a small group of girls that I hang out with on a Wednesday night, and I told them this story, that actually when I was younger and when I was in nursery, I did actually punch another child, I'm pretty sure, in the face. And the bad thing is, it wasn't even a retaliation. It was like fully unprovoked. It was not good. And basically the reason for it was we were both angels in the nativity, and I decided apparently that I wanted to be the only angel, so literally punched this child in the face. He cried. We ended up neither of us being able to be angels. It was a bit of a bad time. So guys, what I am not saying with this is that retaliate is all about physical fighting and we want to train you all how to physically fight. That is not what this is all about. And in fact, the Bible actually tells us to avoid fighting back in anger. And I'm going to kind of jump in straight with some Bible. And, you know, we at Lifecentral Youth and us as leaders, we would call ourselves Christians, and we really believe in the power and the truth of the Bible. And actually, even if you wouldn't call yourself a Christian right now, there is so much truth to be found in the Bible and in the words in it. And the thing about the Bible is it's actually not one book. It's 66 different books, and one of those is called Colossians, and we're going to read from that now. So this is Colossians 3 verse 8, and it says, "But now put off such things as anger, rage, malice, slander, abusive language from your mouth." And it's that last one that I want to just pick up on for a second, that abusive language from your mouth. So most of us will probably have been in a verbal fight, maybe shouting with your family and friends. It happens to all of us from time to time. Or maybe you have been in the worst kind of fight, verbal fight of all, which is the passive, aggressive, slightly under the radar, but you're definitely still having a fight kind of fight. And those are just the worst kind, aren't they? They're just the worst. So we've thought about physical fighting. We've thought about verbal fights as well. Maybe when you thought about fight, you thought about fighting for something. And this is actually the basis of so many movies, so many TV shows. They're based on a character coming up against some hardship, coming up against an opposition, and having to choose to fight back, having to choose to fight for something, or maybe even for someone. And think back now to your favourite TV show, your favourite movie. It probably then features this formula. A character comes up against some opposition, comes up against maybe someone bad, and has to decide to fight back, has to decide to fight for what they believe in. And usually the character we follow is the good character, and they have to choose to fight for good against evil. So one TV show that I've been watching during this time, because we've all been watching a lot of TV, let's be honest. One TV show that I've been watching on Netflix is called Cobra Kai. And I got into this because my husband has been watching it, so I didn't watch the very start of it, but I've got into it since, and if you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it. But it's actually based on a film from a while ago, from I think it was the 80s, called Karate Kid. And this film follows this kid as he comes up against opposition, gets bullied, and learns karate to kind of defend himself and have some purpose in life. And the really cool thing about Cobra Kai is that it not only features some of the same characters as in Karate Kid, but it's actually the same actors who've come back and reprised their roles, and they play the same characters in Cobra Kai, and it's really, really interesting. And I would recommend, if you haven't seen Karate Kid or Cobra Kai, after the lock-in is done, not before then because we're busy until then, after the lock-in is done, go and take a look at them because they are really good. But in Cobra Kai, I'm going to tell you a little bit, and it's slight spoilers, but it's really not that much of a spoiler, it's fine. But basically, you might have guessed it's all about karate, like I said. And the purpose of the program is it follows some young teenagers as they learn karate in something called a dojo. So a dojo is like where you learn karate. It's like the karate club is, I guess, a rubbish way of describing it. But it's the place where you go to learn karate, to get taught. And Cobra Kai is basically all about, there's a couple of different dojos, and they are, the first few series sets up them as being rivals with each other. So it's Cobra Kai and Miyagi-Do. I really hope I've said it right, and I'm really sorry if I didn't. But these two are kind of enemies, and as the series goes on, and in the most recent series, actually, something begins to change. And a lot of characters that you thought were the bad guys actually kind of end up joining forces with the good guys. And the reason for this is they come up against a greater enemy. And they pull together against a greater enemy. And I think that's our calling too. I think within Lifecentral Youth, within our school, within our friendship group, we're all actually so different. But we're all called to pull together in the battle against something greater, against a greater enemy. And I'm going to call it evil for now. I'm going to go straight in and I'm going to call it evil. And I want you guys to just ask yourself a question right now. And that question is, what do you fight for? We're talking all about the battle, the fight, retaliate. That's what the theme is. So what do you fight for? And the title of my talk, you hopefully will have seen that on the little YouTube thumbnail, but the title of my talk is called Taking a Hit. And I think we've all actually taken a few hits during this time. But there's a really key, really cool thing about taking a hit, and that's that it's actually an opportunity. And taking a hit is a real opportunity to show something else, beginning with R, and it's not retaliation. It's a really cool opportunity to show some resilience. And the Bible is full of people who came up against hardship and suffering and showed resilience. And it's also full of people who came up against hardship and suffering, who ran away, who got overwhelmed. And if that's you right now, if you're feeling really overwhelmed and you've come up against some stuff, I want to tell you that that's okay. And the reason that I think that's okay, I'll tell you why just now. The Bible is also full of people who came up against hardship and suffering and ran away and got overwhelmed, but then had an encounter with God that restored them, that refilled them, that provided them with resilience, that provided them with the strength to go again, not in their own strength, but in God's strength. And I believe that we can have that today as well. I want to introduce someone to us from the Bible. I want to introduce a guy called Paul. And this guy's life is pretty mad. And it's kind of a story of two halves. He had a really dramatic life. A really dramatic event kind of happened during his life. But he basically participated in the persecution of Christians, of people who said that they followed Jesus. He wanted to persecute them. And what that means is he basically participated in the capturing and even killing of Christians. He really hated Christians. And Paul, he actually had a really dramatic experience where with Jesus that completely changed who he was, so much that everything about him changed. He switched sides, he switched who he fought for, and this was such a huge deal. And Paul ends up actually telling other people about Jesus. He ends up being one of the people that he hated so much. And because of this, actually, the people who the person he had been before actually came to hate him. And actually the things that he was doing to Christians before him actually started happening to him. And we're going to read from Acts 14. So this is in the second half of the Bible split into two halves. And this is from after Jesus has been on the earth and died. This is Acts, and it's about the people who called themselves Christians and were following Jesus during this time, even though he'd already left the earth. So this is Acts 14, verse 19. And it says, "Then some Jews came from Antioch," I've got loads of places to read, "and Iconium," hoping I said that right, "and won the crowd over. They stoned Paul and dragged him outside the city, thinking he was dead." Paul's had a really dramatic thing happen to him. He's faced a real battle here. He's suffered. He's come against hardship and opposition, exactly the thing that we've just spoken about. He got knocked down, literally. They've dragged him outside the city. He's not on his feet. They've dragged him. They've thrown him down. They've beat him. And after this, what do you think he did? Let's carry on reading. Let's hear the next verse. The next verse says, "But after the disciples had gathered round him, he got up and went back into the city." He got up and went back into the city. I think we can probably maybe get on board with the "he got up" section of this verse. You know, we get knocked down, we get back up again. That's a song, isn't it? We get knocked down, and we get back up again. That's what's the word? Not resilience. That's getting back up and carrying on. But I think the bit that we get hung up on is, hang on a second, he walked back into the city. He got up and immediately he walked back into the city, back into the fight. He showed real resilience. He fought back. He's literally just been beaten to within an inch of his life. He was like almost dead. They thought he was dead. And he gets up and he walks back in. Is this crazy? Is this brave? Is this stupid? Probably all three of those. And I think a one-word question that we are asking ourselves about this is why? Why does he do this? Why does he walk back into the city? And I think we probably all have our own thoughts, our own theories on why, but here's my theory and here's my thought on why he got back up, on why he walked back into the city that had chewed him up and spit him out when he was just trying to help the people, on why he walked back into the fight. And I think it's this word, resilience. A God-given resilience, and the kind of resilience that comes from knowing that you're not walking into the fight alone. The kind of resilience that knows that you are walking into a battle that's already won. It's already over. And I'll tell you what I mean by this. See, whether you would call yourself a Christian or not, God fights for you. And we believe as Christians that the biggest fight of all time was won a long time ago. The fight between good and evil, that word that I mentioned earlier, the fight between good and evil was won a long time ago. It was won when Jesus died on the cross for you and for me. And I think Paul knows this. Paul knows that as he gets up and he walks back into this city, that he's not walking into a fair fight. He's walking into a fight that's already over. And he still might come against some opposition. He's still going to suffer and have some hardships. I'm pretty certain that he definitely will. But later on in the chapter, it actually reveals to us why this is all worth it to Paul. It tells us why he fights. And let's read it in Acts 14:21. So this is literally the next verse. So he's gone back into the city. It says they preached the gospel in that city and won a large number of disciples. So loads of people chose to follow Jesus. Then they returned to Lystra, Iconium and Antioch, strengthening the disciples and encouraging them to remain true to the faith. For Paul, it's all about the people that he can tell about Jesus. That's why he fights. Remember that question I told you earlier, who and what do you fight for? This is who Paul fights for. But like I said, it doesn't make it easy. Just because the fight's won, it doesn't mean that we're not going to face some battles along the way. We absolutely are. We're still going to take some hits. We're still going to come up against opposition and hardship and things that want to stop us. But I think how we respond is so important. And I didn't want my whole talk to be about this and about the situation that we're in, but I think we have to address our reality right now with COVID, and we have to address that this lockdown is tough. This is our reality right now. And I am so with you guys in this. I have found this lockdown, especially this latest one, incredibly tough. And I won't go into things, but there's been some really difficult times during this lockdown that have taken a bit of my fight. And actually, I think this time has been so hard. And I think it's been a time of a lot of contradictions. And let me tell you what I mean by that. I think we feel like life is really empty right now. But then also, how come it feels so full on? I think also we can't wait for this to be over, but we're also terrified of what comes next. And then I think we also feel like we're reaching the end of this marathon, and hopefully we are, but we can't yet see the finish line. We can't yet see exactly when it's going to end. And I want to kind of draw us into a bit of a time of response. And I think in a marathon, and I've really simplified this, but I think there's 3 different types of people in a marathon. And there's the person, number one, who sprints to the finish, who ends up covered in glory. They're the winner. They come in first place. It's amazing. I think there's a second person. There's a person who's just relieved to get to the finish line. They've managed to do it, but they've lost a lot of energy along the way, and they're just relieved to finally get there. And I don't do a lot of running. I'm sure you'll all be surprised by that again. But in the very, very, very small amount of running that I've done, I know that seeing the finish line helps so much. You rarely give up when you can see the finish line. And I do believe that's going to be in sight soon. But I think there's that second person, like I said, who is just happy to have finished the race. But then I also think there's a third person. There's the person who this marathon has been so tough. This lockdown has been so tough. And there's the person who falls before the end, who stumbles, who takes one hit too many. There's the person who feels like they don't have the strength right now to retaliate. And there was a really, really famous and well-known occasion of this actually happening. So in an actual race, in a marathon, there were two brothers running the race, the Brownlee brothers. And one of them, just before the finish line, he's in the lead, he's going to win. He's going to be covered in glory. He's going to finish the race in first. And his legs just start to fail. And people can start to see something's not quite right. And I'm actually going to show you guys, I've got the footage of this, and I want to show you guys this now. This is them in the race, and watch out for what happens next.
Running out of time and is losing his sense of direction. This is worrying. Oh, goodness me. This is a horrible sight. Jonathan Brownlee has lost it now and has staggered to a stop at the side of the course, and Alistair's stopped to help him along. And Alistair is going to try and carry his brother home. Dramatic scenes in Cozumel as the Olympic champion carries his younger brother towards the podium.
Oh my God, I cannot believe what we are seeing here. Matt, is this allowed? Is he allowed to help his brother? You know, is that part of the rules? I'm not too sure. We've never seen anything like this before.
Unbelievable scenes. Unbelievable scenes in Cozumel. The Brownlee brothers arm in arm, but it's not by way of celebration. Henry Schoeman's celebrating. He's going to win this race in Cozumel out of nowhere. But we have to be concerned about the health of Jonathan Brownlee, and they're not even on the final stretch yet. Schoeman wins in Cozumel. The brothers are coming home arm in arm to finish in second and third, but Johnny can hardly stand, and Alistair is having to drag him across the line and pushing him home for second. Johnny finishes in second. Goodness me, what an incredible conclusion here in Cozumel. I've never seen anything like that anywhere in world sport.
Wow, I think that video is so amazing. His brother comes and gets alongside him, and actually his brother could have just raced on and raced and been covered in glory, but he chose to do something else. He chose to put an arm out. He chose to lift up someone else when he'd fallen. And I think as we respond, and we're about to go into a song called Fight My Battles, and I just think this is an amazing, amazing picture. And I think it represents both how we can lift each other up and we can be that person for each other, but also how God wants to come and lift us up during this time. God wants to help us fight back when we feel like we have no more fight, when we feel like we've taken one hit too many. And there's definitely been times in this when I felt that, but God's got me through and God's got me. And I just think he wants to do the same for you right now. And I would say a huge thing for me during this time has been listening to worship music. And I think this song is just going to speak to us so much of this is how I fight my battles. There's a line in there that says, it may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you, as in talking about God. It may look in this lockdown, in this time, in this fight in general, maybe there's other things going on in your life, and you're like, lockdown's nothing, there's other things going on in my life. But God's got us. It looks like we're surrounded by all this other stuff, but the battle's already won, and God has got us. Let's listen to this song together.
There's a table that you prepare for me in the presence of my enemies. It's your body and your blood you shed for me, and this is how I fight my battles. And there's a table that you prepared for me in the presence of my enemies. how I fight my battles, and this is how, and this is how I fight my battles, and this is how I fight my battles, and this is how I fight my battles, and this is how. In the valley, I know that you're with me, and surely your goodness
Wasn't that song amazing? You know, Hannah shared so much wisdom and truth and depth there for us to be thinking about tonight. And it might be that when Hannah was talking about fight and struggle and listen to that song about God being the way that we fight our battles, that actually it resonated with you, because maybe right now you feel like you're in a bit of a battle. Maybe you feel like you are fighting and struggling, and life is just really, really tough right now. And we would just love to encourage you that as a youth team, we are cheering you on and we want to support you, talk to you, pray for you. And so that if you do feel like you are struggling at the moment, that you're in a fight, then we would love to chat with you guys and have one-to-ones. And our wonderful chat team should be popping in some links in the chat right now, that if you feel like you want to chat about some stuff, maybe get some prayer, that you can have one of those one-to-ones. Please do not feel like you have got to fight your battle alone in this season. But, you know, Hannah also spoke about the ultimate fight that Jesus gave for us when he died on a cross and rose from death. And so it would be remiss of us not to give an opportunity for some of you out there who maybe wouldn't call yourselves a Christian or a follower of Jesus to take that decision and take that next step. It might be that you've tracked with us for a while and things have started to click when it comes to us talking about God and who he is and what it means to follow him. It might be that something has just dropped for you tonight. But we'd love to give you an opportunity to follow God for yourselves, knowing that Jesus has done the ultimate fight for you. And if that is you and you want to make a decision to follow Jesus tonight and follow him, then all I'm going to do is in a moment, I'm going to say a prayer. And I would love you just wherever you are, whether you're watching in your living room or your bedroom, wherever you are, that you would just pray along with this prayer. You don't have to do it out loud. You can just do it in your head. But if this is something that you want to do, then pray it through with meaning and God will hear that. And this is an amazing decision that you can make. So I am simply going to pray. And if this is something that you want to do tonight, just pray along with me. Dear God, thank you that you fought the ultimate fight for me. Thank you that you love me and you pursue me and you care about me. Thank you that it is never too late for me to follow you and spend my life following you. Amen. Now, if you have made that decision tonight, here at Lifecentral Youth, we'd love to support you and help you figure out what the next steps look like. And so Harvey is just going to tell you what this will look like.
Yeah, definitely. And if that's you, we'd love to track with you and we'd love to go on this journey with you. We think that following Jesus is the most exciting thing that you will ever get to do in your life. And so we've got a few ways that you can do that tonight. The first one is if you're on Instagram, all you need to do is drop us a DM. Just drop us a message with your name and let us know that that is you and you want to make that decision, and we will message you back and we can set up a one-to-one. We can go on this journey with you and work out what all of this being a Christian and knowing Jesus means from there. If you are not on Instagram, all you need to do right now is just put me and put your name in the chat so we know who you are. And if you have no connection with Lifecentral Youth at all, there's going to be a link that goes in the chat where you can sign up to be involved with Lifecentral Youth, and we'll keep you updated with everything that we're doing, and so that we can get in touch with you and get in contact with you, and so that we can explain what this being a Christian stuff is all about a little bit more. And so yeah, do that if that is something that has resonated with you over tonight.
Yep, so tonight has been amazing, but we aren't done just yet. We've still got a couple of things that we want to do before you guys tune out. And first of all, I believe we have got someone who has won themselves a lovely jumper.
A lovely jumper, yes we do. And you know what, I have that lovely jumper right here. So we'll announce who that is right now on live stream. So a little drum roll in the chat. Like, I don't know, I can't actually hear you, but I'm just going to trust that you're like hitting your laptop and whatever. A drum roll going on. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, this goes to the real pie guy. Okay,
the real pie guy.
We're not gonna reveal the name. We know who that is. And we've been in touch with them, and it's all gonna be good. So you've got a jumper coming to your house soon.
But just a question for those who are maybe wondering, what was the answer?
What was the answer?
What was the answer?
What was the answer?
We know the winner now, but what was the answer?
The answer was Karate Kid, if you didn't hear that in Hannah's talk. So that is it. We've got another thing that we need to do and we need to settle tonight. Is this whole smoothie, drink, like nutrition stuff going on?
Nutrition?
Nutrition. I think it's nutritious. We got broccoli. We've got like a lettuce sandwich, mainly because we couldn't afford the meat.
I think our views on nutrition might be a little bit different.
It's nutritious. It's nutritious. So Beth, would you like to do the honors?
I am. I even have some lovely blue gloves.
You've got some lovely gloves because we realized if you touch everything, then we can't actually eat it because, you know, COVID and everything. So if you put the gloves on, then you can like put stuff in the blender and it's all going to be okay. Hopefully, is the blender plugged in? Are we good? We're good to go. We're good to go. And we need to get Hannah up here because Hannah also
I can't really
lost...
talk and do the smoothie, so this is going to have to be like a no microphone sitch.
That's fine.
Small
that's
talk.
Fine. Small talk.
What was your favourite part
of my
talk? Were you listening?
Of your talk? I was listening. I think it's super important to remember that no matter what, you're not on your own, right? Jesus is with you, and he is there to help you in your hard situations. So
100%. Well, you know,
Mate,
we're all on
all of it. Tip it all in. We're not fussed.
Maybe this would be a good smoothie. Maybe this would be a good smoothie for tomorrow morning when we need to get up for the next live stream. But you're going to tell us all about... No, less broccoli. As little broccoli as possible. All the crisps. Some honey, make it sweet. Can I... Oh, I bet, there we go. My one thing is, can we just put in a tiny bit of Coke? Because, if you watched a while ago, Laura Hancock, one of our leaders, had to do a blended Mackies challenge. And the mistake she made...
No, it's not very moist. It's going to be dry.
We need all the liquid. I reckon the whole bottle of water, the whole Coke.
It'll
the whole,
overflow.
It's basically... No, the water wasn't one, was it?
It's just for the moisture.
You can just put some water in. There we go. A little bit of Coke. Oh, because the worst thing I think about the one that Laura had to have was the fizziness of the Mackies.
That looks...
Go on then.
I feel like we need some more water. Just put the whole water in, I think.
Put more water in.
Blenders don't go down too well if you don't put water in, I think.
Let's go with that.
To soak, like...
You know, you're giving me contradictory advice here, guys. It stinks. It actually reeks.
This is going to be vile. It's going to be a smoothie.
I don't know how this works. Clearly, I don't have one of these at home.
Do we have a technician who
a bit further that way.
Sort this?
You know...
Yeah, and then push the lid down.
I think you got it.
Why is it so difficult?
I don't
it's like a twist.
This is not a skill I have.
I think it's a twist
Hold on.
thing.
Okay, yeah, do both hands. I think you have to start it from the other way.
Guys, technical issues, like, they happen.
Oh. Here we go. Here we go.
Okay.
Imagine if it doesn't blend now.
Oh my god.
Guys, it doesn't look good.
Should
we leave it with some nice crunchy Pom Bear bits in the top? It does not look good. It does not look good. It does not look good.
Someone threw up in a blender. This is grim. I don't think I want to.
Yeah, go and sniff it. Go and sniff it. Sniff it. Sniff it. Sniff it. Sniff it.
No! It smells like, kind of like if McDonald's was...
Okay, pour us a nice, luscious glass of this smoothie.
Let's go. 3 glasses of smoothie. Oh my. Okay. This is looking good. Do you know, this is probably the best meal I've had today, at least most nutritious.
Oh.
Okay, lovely.
I would like the least full one, please. Let's give the biggest one to Harvey, because he's the biggest.
Hey, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but... Guys, do not try this at home. This is not something you should get involved with. If someone says, we're going to blend a load of sandwiches...
So I'm okay with taste, but it's a texture thing for me. This doesn't have a good texture.
Right, I'm going for it. Should we count in?
Should we do cheers to the lock-in?
Come on. Lock-in, cheers.
Yay for use the work.
Far too many friends walk away and I come back. I won't wash away like branches in rain.
It's actually a million times worse than I imagined. Oh my goodness, it's so much worse than I imagined.
I didn't even have much, and I just gagged after a sip.
It's the texture.
I don't know where my water's gone.
I'm going to do another sip.
Hannah, you look like you're enjoying this. What's going on? She's just like, yeah.
I put too much
5 a
coffee
day.
in. I put too much
Oh, it's bad.
I'm done with that. I'm not. No.
That is actually a million
That
times
is
worse than I thought it was
awful.
going to be. I would eat, you know the toast game we did?
Yeah.
I would eat all of those things over a sip of this. That's actually gagging.
Guys, let's just agree right now. We're never doing that again. We'll never play that game again. That's my fault. My
This
bad.
was one of Harvey's
Can I just
work
also
ideas.
point out,
This is-
I won the game. I mean, I did only pretty much just lick it and then take a
You
sip.
won
but
the
it's
game,
already
but you
won.
lost the battle, Beth. Come on. Here we go. Okay. Yeah,
Harvey,
let's just.
Harvey, I will give you £5 if you drink the whole thing of your cup.
That's good.
I'll give you
£5.
£5.
£5.
British
£5.
pounds. Oh,
I'll
he's
give you
gonna
£5.
go. No. What?
You have to drink the whole thing.
He did it. What would you do for a £5? Harvey, you need to finish it. You're not getting a £5.
Do another big
I
sip.
feel ill watching him.
I will present this £5 to you in the morning.
Ma.
Oh my goodness.
Show the camera how much
Lovely.
you've got left in your cup, Harvey. Go on.
Are we, guys in the chat, are we thinking that's all of it?
And put in the chat whether you think that's enough or whether he needs to fish
One
the
more
remains out.
sip and I'll give you a £5. Oh no, I don't even like watching it.
What's
Okay.
everyone saying in the chat? I don't have eagle eyes. What is people saying? Is it enough?
People are saying give him 10. This is awful. Yes, Harvey.
Hannah only said 5 and he said he would do it.
I am
so
not
that was
giving
the
him
contract.
£10. I'm giving him 5.
He's
Harvey,
contractually obliged.
I would have gone up to 10, but you did it on 5.
He's even got it on his microphone. He's got it on his microphone.
I'm
Do you want to tell us what we're doing tomorrow?
My microphone is just covered in that. I don't, well,
You know what? I'm just going to help myself with this Pepsi
Yeah.
Max while
Do you want to tell us what we're doing tomorrow?
guys, we are not doing this tomorrow. We're not doing this tomorrow. You don't need to worry. But, guys, that is the end for tonight. I think it's the end of a lot of things.
Yeah.
No more.
Our friendship.
Our friendship, the food, like, no more. But it is not the end of the lock-in. We have got so much stuff coming up over the course of the next day. So tomorrow is jam-packed, okay? So you would have got a program and a load of other stuff if you had ordered a pack. So this is what the program looks like. Hopefully you've got one of those if you signed up early enough. And within the program, you will see everything that is going on tomorrow in the day. So we start off tomorrow with another live stream at 11 a.m., which is going to be epic. I can't
So
wait
good.
for it.
Enough time for a lie in that.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Sleep
It's
in.
good.
Come on.
Enough time for Harvey to make another one of these
Come
smoothies
on,
for
another
himself in the
smoothie.
morning because he's
Wake up.
making.
Smoothie.
Let's do it. It's going to be great. Going to be great. So that is what's happening in the morning, 11 a.m. Make sure you join that. Turn your notifications on for Life Central Youth, right? Let's do it. Turn it on so you don't miss it. And then in the afternoon, we have got seminars happening at 2:30 till 3:30. Hopefully that popped it. Yes, it's popped up on the screen so you can see those. There's a bunch of seminars and you will either have the codes emailed to you or they are in here as well.
Because that is on Zoom, not
That
on
is
YouTube.
on Zoom. That's not on YouTube. And if you don't have the details, just drop us an Instagram message, and that is all good. And then after that, 4 till 5, we've got a bunch of workshops that are super exciting.
So excited.
I can't wait for those. We've got a craft workshop. We have got an Among Us workshop. We've got a baking workshop. We've got a quiz workshop. It is going to be epic. There's some other stuff on this sheet of things that you will need for that. And so hopefully you're able to see that. If not, drop us a message again and we can get all that information to you by then. And then we are finishing tomorrow with the final live
The
episode.
epic finale.
The epic finale.
And it's not any of us speaking. It's someone even more exciting than us.
Wow.
I bet there's so
know.
much
Is it
relief
Andy?
going on right now.
It is definitely
It's
not
not
Andy.
Andy?
Because he's not more exciting than us.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Makes
so
sense.
we have got the one and only Becca Hudson coming down and speaking to us and finishing off the whole event. So guys, make sure you join us tomorrow. It is going to be incredible. I can't wait.
It is.
I'm so excited.
So I think that is night number 1 pretty much done.
I think that's it.
So I think from myself, Hannah, Harvey, and our disgusting smoothie of pukedom, that is Thursday. Enjoy the rest
Guys,
of your day.
see you tomorrow morning.
This is living